What AI isn't, the myth of thinking machines, the illusion of understanding. When an AI system produces an eloquent paragraph or a sharp forecast, it feels intelligent. But that's an illusion born of fluent output. The model isn't thinking, it's statistically imitating the structure of thought. It doesn't know truth, only probability. If you ask it for a credit summary, it predicts which sequence of words most often follows credit summary in its training data. Its strength is correlation, not comprehension. Treating correlation as comprehension is the first cognitive trap of AI adoption. The anatomy of a prediction engine. Every modern AI system is a three-step machine: input encoding, converts messy data, text, numbers, or images into numerical vectors. Pattern learning, finds mathematical relationships between input and desired output. Inference, applies the learned mapping to new, unseen data. That's it. No introspection, no goals, no context beyond what's encoded. The result can mimic reasoning precisely because human communication is patterned. AI doesn't get meaning, it reconstructs form. When pattern recognition collides with reality, real-world environments shift. South African small and medium enterprises face load shedding, policy changes, inflation shocks, and fluctuating consumer confidence. When those variables change, yesterday's learned patterns no longer predict tomorrow. AI trained on last year's loan data may overweight industries that prospered under old conditions and underweight emerging ones. This is called model drift. The model doesn't adapt until retrained on new data. At IDF Capital, drift manifests when portfolio realities outpace training data. The fix isn't trust the machine less, but treat it like a living instrument that needs calibration. The second illusion, objectivity. It's tempting to think data is neutral. It's not. Data reflects human behavior, and humans encode preferences and blind spots. If historical approvals favored certain demographics or industries, the model will quietly inherit those biases. When such bias is wrapped in mathematical authority, it becomes harder to detect and easier to rationalize. Therefore, AI isn't automatically fairer or wiser than human judgment. It's a mirror of our institutional history, amplified by computation. The limits of language models. Large language models, those that power chat interfaces, are especially deceptive. They can synthesize memos, credit papers, and risk narratives with near-human fluency. But fluency does not equal accuracy. They lack verification layers, cite patterns, not sources. Without human fact-checking, they hallucinate, fabricating numbers or inventing quotes. For IDF, that risk isn't theoretical. A hallucinated figure in a credit memo can alter investment decisions or regulatory filings. The mitigation is structural. Combine LLMS with verified data sources and enforce a human review loop before output enters official workflows. The human variable AI operates deterministically. Humans interpret probabilistically. Machines can't infer context like, a business is seasonal because school holidays matter. Humans can. That's why the highest performance doesn't come from automation or intuition alone, but from co-intelligence, machine precision paired with human context. A first principles test for any AI claim. Before trusting a model, ask, what is its input? What is its objective function? What it tries to optimize? What feedback or correction loop exists? What happens when the environment changes? If any of these answers are missing, you're dealing with a black box pretending to be a brain. The South African context in our market, context matters, credit data sparsity, informal trading, multilingual communication, and inconsistent digital records. Models trained elsewhere assume data density that doesn't exist here. Hence, local calibration isn't optional, it's ethical. AI should extend human intelligence, not export foreign assumptions. Closing thought AI isn't a mind. It's a calculator with context, a high-dimensional statistical engine. It will never replace the judgment formed by lived experience, community networks, and ethical reasoning. The goal at IDF Capital isn't to worship AI's power, but to harness its mathematics without surrendering our morality. Humans think, machines compute. Progress happens when each does what it's built for.